Hello students, in today's session we will discuss how to design lacings. Now the question is, what is lacing? In the last session I have discussed why we provide lacings and batting. Okay, so lacing is the member which is used to connect two different sections and to form one built up section out of it. Okay, so if you have two sections like this is the one eye section. Let's suppose it is the eye section. This is your second eye section, and I'm using these two different sections together to build a column. I want to build a column out of these two sections, and to connect them I need some system. That is a flats we use. These are the flats we use to connect them, and those flats may arrange in incline or horizontal way, right? And if we are arranging it, how we arranged it, on that basis we divided it into two parts, two categories. One is lacings, another is battening. Now here in this session we will discuss how to design it, what are the clauses, and how to apply these formulas while designing lacing. So let's start. Here I first said angle of inclination. Now for lacing you must have remembered that when I apply lacing will be with certain degree of angle. This is the two section, this is the one section, this one is the second section, and in these two sections I want a connecting member, that is I said lacing. And if I am providing a lacing will be with certain angle to the horizontal plane, which is I can say 45 degree. Okay, so here how to choose that angle and what is the range, from which range I choose my angle, that I have mentioned over here. The angle of inclination theta of a lacing bar with the longitudinal axis of the component member. What I said, longitudinal axis of a component member should be kept between, what is the range, 40 to 70 degree. Okay, so generally for trial or for initial assumption we choose 45 degree, and the spacing, once we decided this angle, spacing of lacing bars, which is denoted by A1, RYY is A1 and RYY is calculated. Now what is this A1? First I said you are providing lacing is always provided with certain degree of angle. That angle is with the longitudinal axis of your member, and that will be ranges from 40 to 70 degree. For initial assumption we will start assuming it, or we will assume it 45 degree. Then I said the once you decided at what degree you have provided lacings, then next step is to calculate distance between this lacing or spacing. So this is the spacing distance between the two joints between the lacing. Okay, this is called A1. I hope you getting. This is how we say the lacings are spaced at a distance A1. Okay, so two lacings are separated by what distance is denoted by A1. And RYY is what? Radius of gyration in YY direction. RYY is mentioned in your steel table, that is mentioned for one section, right? Now I want for the combined section, or this composite section. Composite section means what? The two or more than two sections are come together to form one system of a structure, that is called composite sections, right? So here I am using two channel sections, maybe back to back or face to face. Combinedly they are connected with the lacings, and this whole system carry its radius of gyration that you need to calculate in certain direction y. Understood? Next is the maximum spacing of lacing bars. Now assume that lacing bars are spaced at a distance A1. We denoted it with the name A1. Now how to calculate that A1 distance, how to decide that spacing, that is given in this rule. The minimum, one second, yes, the maximum spacing of lacing bars A1 should be such that minimum slenderness ratio of the component member, which is A1 by RYY, is not greater than 50. What I said, you have developed one system in which there are two channel sections like this, and wait a minute, yes, you have two channel sections like this. You have placed it toe to toe, you have arranged it like toe to toe. Okay, you have this channel section. Okay, and when I am using this channel section as a column, I have to apply a connecting flat upon it, or plates. This connecting plates are placed in a certain angle, and that is called lacings, right? Those connecting flats or plates are called as a lacing, right? Now the spacing between these two lacing are denoted as A1, and how to calculate it? For that, condition is whatever distance A1 will be, is A1 should be such that you have to maintain it such that the slenderness ratio, that minimum slenderness ratio मतलब कम से कम slenderness ratio की value. Okay, so this, what is slenderness ratio? Lambda will be what? It will be minimum of the component member A1 divided by RYY is not greater. मतलब उन्होंने क्या कहा, आप वो लेसिंग्स को ऐसे अरेंज करो, इतने डिस्टेंस पे या इतने स्पेसिंग पे अरेंज करो दैट इट विल डेवलप अ मिनिमम स्लेंडरनेस रेशियो of that component member of that lacing, which is denoted as A1 by RYY. Okay, it should not be greater than what? 50, value 50 or 0.7 of lambda, 0.7 times the slenderness ratio of whole member of a whole system. Okay, now see, look at here one more time. This condition is very important. Once you have choose lacing angle, next you need to calculate it is A1. How to calculate A1? What is A1? A1 is the distance between the two lacing, or at what distance lacings are spaced. Okay, now this distance is depends upon the slenderness ratio. And how we arrange those? The slenderness ratio of the lacing is should not be greater than 50, a value 50 or 0.7 times the slenderness ratio of whole system. What is this whole system now? Of a column system. Okay, आपको ये समझ में आएगा जब हम problem solve करेंगे. There you will get a better idea about it. Now let's go for the next topic here. The lacing for compression members should be portioned to resist a total transverse shear VT. Now I am saying that there is a transverse shear force. Transverse force is coming across our section. This is our section here. Two channel sections are used back to back. Okay, and these channel sections are placed with the lacing like this. Okay, now I am saying this system, which is giving a column connected with the lacings, which carries the axial compressive force. This system also carry one another load. Which is that load? The transverse shear. What is shear? Shear is equal and opposite force acting across a section. Okay, so I am saying on this section there must be a shear force acting or coming across our system. How it is developed? or how we will calculate it. Look at over here. The transverse shear is taken Vt. It is denoted by what symbol is V suffix T, and its value is 2.5% of total axial load. 2.5% of total axial load. Let's suppose we have we have designed this column with the C channels. I have placed it back to back, sorry, in toe to toe arrangement I have made, and you applied lacings upon it to connect them, right? And this column is designed for the axial load, let's suppose 1000 kilonewton. Now I am saying the horizontal or a transverse shears coming across this section will be 2.5% of axial load. And what is axial load? 100 kilonewton. Okay, so that's how we're gonna calculate Vt, or a transverse shear force acting across our lacing system. Now this Vt is where to apply now. I have understood that there is a transverse shear acting on our system, but I must understand that where to apply this transverse shear. So this transverse shear is divided equally in all parallel planes. This is the plane, this is the plane 1, plane 2, plane 3, and I am applying it in all parallel planes. There can be n number of planes. We don't know right now value, so let's suppose there are n number of planes in which there is a shear resisting elements. मतलब क्या हुआ, ऐसे parallel planes में उन्हें हमें divide करना है जहाँ पे shear resisting elements होंगे. Why? Because there is a shear force, तो वहाँ पे resisting system होनी चाहिए. और वो कहाँ है? ऐसे सारे parallel panels में हमें shear Vt को डिवाइड करके अप्लाई करना है. सो आई विल टेक एग्जाम्पल of this lacing system. Let's suppose this is two columns, okay, and I have applied lacing across it, right? Now Vt, you can say Vt is a total transverse shear. This transverse shear is divided into n number of planes. This n number of planes are the planes at which shear resisting elements are available. So where it is available? These joints are good or are considered to be having resistance for shear. Alright, and then you should check how many layers are there. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is how the resisting shear elements are resisted, or shear resisting elements are available at joints of a lacing. Where I assume those resisting elements? At joints of your lacing system. Alright, and this Vt, which is a transverse shear force, is divided into this number of layers. And then you apply it like this. Understood? Now next is the compression force in the lacing bar. Once you have decided angle, first step of calculating or designing lacing is at what angle you have applying or you have arranged the lacing bars. The next step is to calculate transverse shear coming across a section and applying it in the different parallel layers or planes. The next step is to calculate compressive force in the lacing bars. How to calculate that? For them, that the scientists have derived some derivation is there and derived some formulas. I am taking down directly formulas from that derivation over here, and if you want to go for the derivation how this developed, you can check your reference books. Okay, they given how these formulas are derived, how the forces are splitted in, and how the resultant is carried out. Okay, it is a huge part of understanding. If you interested, you can follow your reference books. You will get idea how these formulas are developed. For right now, I have chosen this end conclusion of those derivation, which is the formulas required to calculate compressive force in the lacing bar. Okay, so see here, the compressive force is calculated in two types of system. One is single lacing system and second one is a double lacing system. Now what is this? So see here, in the single lacing system, let's suppose this are the two columns and you have provided lacings in this way. Then this is called as a single lacing system, where you applied only one flat in crisscross direction with an angle 45 degree, which is our prior assumption, right? But if I have applied two-way lacing system, how I will do that? See here, if I said I have provided double lacing system, it means it will go like this. Understood? You have two cross plate at every plane. You have two cross plate at every plane. Okay, then that will called as a double lacing system. In the double lacing system, the number of planes are multiplied by 2 because two flat plates are applied. It is double lacing system. Now look into the formulas. Formulas you have to remember. C is equals to Vt by n into cosec theta, and C is equals to Vt by 2n for double lacing system into cosec theta. These formulas are required while designing the lacing bars. In the problem you can use those formulas. Next step is the selection of the lacing flat. Now how to select lacing flat? What is mean by lacing flat? The flat one which we used in designing. This is the flat. Okay, you have a different types of sections. Sections types are what? I section, C section or a channel section, angle section, equal angle section or unequal angle section, and then there will be a built up sections, right? But if we are using these sections, does there any plate section available? Yes, plate sections are called as a flat, and those flat plates are used for lacing system. Those used as a batten or lacing system. Okay, so let's start solving one problem, and how to choose how to take that flat from steel table is the question. For that there are many formulas that I am directly make you understand through this problem. So this is the problem first which we gonna solve. Here this problem divided into two parts, I can say better, this problem is divided into three parts. The lacing design for any built up column is get divided into three parts. How? The part one is design of column. Part one consists of what? Design of column. Okay. Part two consists of design of lacing. And part 3 consists of designing of connections. So first part is over in the previous session where I have designed the column. I am continuing that column in this problem to design lacing, and in the next third part I will continue this problem to design connections. So I hope you remember that. If you want how to design a column, you can check my previous video. Okay. So see here, from the previous calculation, I come to know that spacing of this column members are made at 183.5 mm. What is this column members? There I have chosen C sections. I have chosen the C section or channel section like this. and these two channel sections are spaced at a distance which is 183.5. Where from I have calculated? That is calculated in column design. At the end of column design problem in the previous session, I have calculated this spacing value, okay. Now next is our today's part, okay. So assume angle of a lacing bar. First step is I have assumed, our first initial assumption is theta is equals to 45 degree. From which range you can take your theta? You can take it from the range 40 degree to 70 degree. What I have made first or primary assumption? My primary assumption to go to solve this problem is theta is equals to 45 degree with the longitudinal axis of a member. Next is calculation of A1. What is A1? A1 is the spacing between the lacing. And what is this S is? S is the spacing between the two column sections. Understood? You must understand this difference. A1 is the spacing between the two lacings, whereas S is a distance between two columns. Next is how to calculate A1. For A1, it is simple. It is also a formula how we derived compression formula. Compression formula was Vt divided by n into cosec theta. How that is derived? In the same way, the first designers who have solved this and analyzed this, they given us a formula of A1. What is the formula for A1? 2 into S plus gauge distance into cot 45 or cot theta. What formula is? If I write the formula only without values, the formula for A1 will be 2 into S plus gauge distance multiplied by cot theta. Here the theta value is 45 degree. Therefore, theta becomes 45. S value we know, S is 183.5. I have placed that over here. Now gauge distance. Gauge distance means what? The distance from the center of connection, and that is taken as a 50 plus 50. Okay, on the both the sides of this lacing system, and then cot 45. The theta is 45 degree here, therefore theta be replaced by 45 degree. Okay, once you solve it, you will get answer as a 567 mm. Okay, now this formula you must remember, this formula is for single lacing system, and if the formula will change if you provided double lacing systems like this. Okay, so this formula is for single lacing system. Now slenderness ratio of lacing bar. Once we calculate A1, I need to know what is lambda for lacing system. And lambda, how we will calculate? A1 by RYY. RYY will be mentioned in your steel table. A1 is calculated over here, which is 567. Okay, so 567 divided by 26.1. Now RYY I have selected from the steel table. You must remember that I have enlisted this all values of RYY, and whatever I have selected or taken from the steel table, that values are mentioned already in the previous session. Okay, go through it. Now next step is calculating transverse shear. How to calculate transverse shear? VT will be what? VT will be equals to 2.5 times axial loading. It is equals to 2.5 times axial loading. So in the question you can read over here, the design built up column 10 meter long to carry a factor axial load is how much? 1080 kilonewton. And it is already factored, therefore no need to multiply it with 1.5. Here VT will be equals to 2.5% of axial load. Axial load was given in kilonewton, so I have multiplied it with the 10 to the power 3. So it will convert it into Newton. That's how I calculated VT. VT will be 27 kilonewton. Again, if you again I have converted it into kilonewton. No need to apply this 10 to the power 3 over here. Okay. Now transfer shear in panel. Now whatever VT, whatever transfer shear we have calculated, that need to be transferred or applied at the planes where shear resisting elements are available. At the planes where what? Shear resisting elements are available. Now this plane, we don't know how many planes we have, correct? So we are dividing it into two planes, or we are dividing this on two planes. Therefore I have applied it. Half will go on a half of this axial force will half of this transfer shear force will go on one plane, which is 13.5, and half will go on half, remaining 13.5 will go on another plane. Okay. Now compressive force in lacing bars. Compressive force in a lacing bars. How to calculate that? The formula was already given, which is C equals to VT divided by N into cosec theta. VT we know 13.500, which is on one plate, on one flat of a lacing. What is the transfer shear force? We calculated that above here, 13.5 kilonewton. Okay, and I am taking that in Newton over here, 13.500 into cosec. That will give you an answer for 19.09 kilonewton. No need to put it again in a Newton because already I have wrote the answer in kilonewton. Okay. Solve it, try to solve it along with me in a calci in your at your notebook at your home, and you will get a better idea. Everything is systematic and you need to remember two formulas. First formula for calculating VT will be equals to what? 2.5 of axial load, and then calculation of compressive force, that will be VT divided by N into cosec theta. Alright, that's how we did so far. Now next is selecting lacing flat. How to select a lacing flat? That is question, right? So to lacing flats are selected on the basis of some conditions I have mentioned over here. We will stop here our session by selecting our lacing flat, and whatever remaining part is, that we will cover in the next session. So let's stop over here. We will stop our session over here up to the lacing flats. How to choose now lacing flat? Let us provide 16 mm diameter of a bolts of a grade 4.6. So this is purely an assumption. We are assuming that I am gonna provide 16 mm diameter of bolts. Okay. Then width B will be 3 times of a bolt dia. What is width? Width of a flat. This is your lacing, correct? This is your lacing, and lacing flat has its width. That width will be 3 times the diameter of hole, the diameter of a hole, diameter of bolt. Alright, you placing it with the help of bolt, right? You are connecting it with the help of bolt, and those bolt has certain diameter. I assume that diameter as a 16 mm, and 3 times of that diameter will be the width of my lacing flat, that is 48 mm. Okay, approximately I took 50 mm 50 mm width of a plate. Okay, now what length of a plate and what is the thickness of plate? Thickness of a plate T will be 140 of length of a flat between inner end bolts. Length of a flat means what? This is your flat which you are using. This is your flat which you are using, and this flat must have certain distance between what, inner to inner end bolts. From inner to inner end bolts उस पे ध्यान देना चाहिए. This is your flat and you have a bolts over here, and this bolt, inner to inner distance between this bolt will be your length of that flat. Okay, and you should divide it with the 40. That will give you a thickness of a flat. Okay, that will give you a thickness of your flat. So to calculate length of a flat, we don't have a length of a flat. We will calculate it on the basis of what, at what spacing we have separated our channels. Correct? At what spacing we have separated our channels for the column, and then we will do, this is angle 45 degree. Okay, then what will be a length of this lacing? How we will do that? By using help of this angle and some cosec theta or cos theta. With that formulas, just like if I take cos 45, what is cos 45? It will be adjacent divided by hypotenuse, right? So accordingly you will apply, they have already applied this derivation for the calculation purpose, and they come across this formula, which is 140 divided by s spacing plus gauge distance into cosec theta into cosec theta. Gauge distance will be 50 for single lacing system. That is general assumption. Okay, now from there we come to know that angle will be of this flat will be of a thickness 12 mm. Therefore from the steel table we have chosen a section, flat section of 50 what, of a 50 width and a thickness of 12 mm. 50 mm width है और thickness कितनी है 12 mm. You will get a better idea of this how on practicing it many times, because see, few formulas which already derived and given to us for designing, we will use those formulas as it is. Only the thing is, what is the gauge distance, what is assumption for it, at what place what formula is goes, and how we choose the formulas right from the beginning. That is the only task for lacing design. Alright, I will stop here. Keep practicing this session. Thank you so much.